Obi.
Like football.
Obi loves pizza.
Yeah,
That's what he told me.
He ain't tell me nothing.
Okay, y'all know. Yeah, okay.
I'm alright.
Tomorrow morning, yeah, okay. That's tomorrow morning. Y'all get in tomorrow. Y'all tripping out
I didn't even get my prize from
I did.
I got you. Listen, I got you covered.
I
got it covered.
I'm like LeBron.
What?
I got a dub too.
I got it covered. Don't y'all worry.
Yes, man.
I got it. I got all y'all covered. When you come back in the fall, you're good.
In the fall.
That's a long time.
I want to make sure you come back, bro. Understand, JK?
I got two.
I know. I owe six. I owe 6 gifts, and then the first person to speak at the thing, that's another one.
At the auditorium?
Yeah, who was that? Was that JK? Yeah. No, I owe you $20 for that one.
I got 3.
Oh, you owe 3. Oh.
I thought you were supposed to give him a 20 spot.
I am. Yeah, I'm there before you leave though. Yeah. Okay. Cam. So housekeeping, Cam, you got to go see Liberty tomorrow. Everybody's good. Listen. Before we bring D up, how was class? How was your first? I'm gonna ask this tomorrow morning. I thought I was asking how was class.
My homework.
Look, smoke weed, he's still turning in.
Goddamn.
He said, I'm gonna blunt this boy. I'm kidding. What y'all think? How was class? Was that right? Cam, what you think?
The first class was straight. The second class was easy.
That's something. That's what people say it sometimes. Okay.
Second class was that.
Okay. Gab, what you think?
Yeah, the first class was alright, like just fine, and the second class was easy, but I couldn't get my homework done because I was having trouble, like, transferring stuff from the big computer to
To
my.
your okay. I got you. Okay. Park, how about you, man?
The first class was okay.
Okay.
And the second one was a lot easier.
Okay.
Talking about pig shit.
Yeah. That was crazy though.
It was good.
Both classes was good. Mathematician gonna question, yeah, okay, man, everything gonna be okay. You know, I'm anime, you know, I know. I'm JK, by the way. Listen, okay, here we go. Hey, listen. This guy graduated MSU, you know, known all over the country for his ability to engage. But I'll let you be the judge of that, you know. He's an author. Oh, I should have put this stuff up on this anyway. He's an author of a book called Destined for Greatness. That's where, y'all see my little notes with the Destined for Greatness? Yeah, y'all remember them little things I sent you? Destined for Greatness.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Oh yeah. I know.
Y'all, don't lie. Watch this. If I was lying, y'all gotta help a brother out there. You feel me?
You talking about the headers to the
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So he's the impetus for that. But his other part, his subtitle is Success is Yours. And so he was about to finish another book. COVID happened. He's still gonna finish another book, but he has one now that you all will get later on. But I'll let you get other details. I don't know what he's gonna share, what he's not gonna share. So I don't want to give too much stuff up. I give you a little tea. I got you. Yeah. Also, my man DeAndre Carter, author of Destined for Greater Success is Yours. So, to love. I mean, clap. I mean, put your hands together. Okay, yeah. And by the way, he will facilitate the Student Success Series for the university next year. So I think it's on Wednesdays every Wednesday at 7 or something like that. He'll be on campus doing this thing. We'll check about then too. Come on, D. What you got?
Alright, how y'all feeling?
Good.
Good. Let me get some names real quick. I already met Cam and AJ, right?
Oh, good.
Alright, but let me get everybody so I'm up to speed. So start with AJ and then work our way right on down here.
AJ.
I'm gonna be.
Cam.
Gavin, Parker.
Okay.
Alright. And so real quick, I'm gonna make sure that this is interactive because when you all athletes, right? What sport? What? Football?
Diving, football.
Okay, got it. What positions? I know I gotta wait. I'm gonna remember it. Corner. Wide receiver, corner, linebacker, you diver, right?
Defensive end.
DN, DB. All right, so mix it up. Okay, cool. So we all athletes, right? Notice how I put myself in there. We all athletes, but there's a mentality that you have to have if you really want to be successful. Can we agree to that? Have you ever been in a position where you see one person outperform the other, even though the talent is equal, and it just seems like, you know, somebody else just, they believe what they do what they're doing. There's a level of certainty, right? That when they make that move, they make it with the anticipation that it's gonna work, right? So what I'm gonna talk about today is what it takes for you to be successful at all levels. See, the thing about success is that you can take it from one area to the next when you know the formula. It's kind of like math, right? And I ain't gonna get deep in math because, I don't know, math was like a boogeyman for me. I don't know about y'all. Raise your hand if math, at any point in your whole life, if math was a person, it would be a book. Anybody know what I'm talking about? You know, they'd be like, go in that room. You're like, I ain't going in that room. Math in there, right? And so, but the thing I love about math is that it's a formula. 2 plus 2 is what?
4.
2 plus 2 is, right? 2 plus 2 is, right? It's a formula, and it works every time. So I'm gonna give you a couple formulas because once you can get the formula going right in one direction, it begins to go right in another. But the key is to get it going in one direction, right? Name some people that you're aware of that are successful in multiple areas, right? I got a couple in my mind, but successful, right? LeBron, boom. Who else? Drake.
Joshua Gillespie.
JG. I know he's on.
My man, good luck, baby. I appreciate you.
Gavin, right? Gavin, and one more time.
Parker.
Did you have your hand on Parker?
Oh, no.
Okay, all right. So what's the thing? So LeBron, multiple. Give me a couple areas. I obviously know basketball. What else?
He got his own school,
Got his own school,
business.
his own podcast,
He's gonna be in the movie.
entertainment. Drake. We got music, and what else?
Basketball.
Acting. As a fan?
No, I think he owns some of the rap.
Oh, ownership. Okay, yeah. I feel you where you're going with that. Yep. Say that again.
CEO, or whatever it is, CEO.
He's a part owner of the Raptors, right? So here's the point I want you to understand though, because you know a couple people popped in my mind. Jay-Z for one, right? We agree he's the success formula is. I put one in the book. I want you to pay attention to it. Potential plus performance equals possibilities. Who in the room got potential? Right? Everybody. Potential. Potential is the ability. Did you sign up? Anybody signed up for your potential? Like there was a line for potential, you went and signed up, you didn't give me a little extra, give me seconds. No. We have it, right? I need you to get this. What's the first part of potential? If you break the word up, potential. You took off the I, the A, and the L. Who following with me? What's that word? What does it start with? Potential. Usually I have people write this down, but I'm making y'all think. Nope. Just the literal word. Somebody spell it out. What's the first letter?
P.
What?
P. O.
I don't know what's after
T. Potential.
E.
E.
N.
N. Yeah, you was right. That confidence piece. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like you was right, and you just gotta stand on it. And what's the other one? After E, N,
T.
we stop right there. What word is that? Potent. Potent. What do you think about when you hear the word potent?
Gross.
Huh? Well, yeah, and I think you talking about a smell, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we going, but that does give an example. But taking it to something else. If something is potent,
Stands out.
it stands out. What else? Potent.
I'm thinking like stand out like what he said.
Now, stand out in what way?
Like, I don't know, like broad, like easy to pay attention to.
Easy to pay attention. If we was gonna apply potent to athletics, if somebody said, he or she they're potent, what comes to mind?
Good.
That-
Good.
Not just good. What kind of good?
Great.
Really good. They said, if we was getting ready to go hoop and this team is, hey man, that squad is potent. What you be thinking?
Honestly, I don't even know.
But you know it's something, right?
I wouldn't play it.
You said, we gotta
You
roll out
step
there.
back off the court.
Hey, we gotta go out there. So here's what I want you to understand. Potential starts with potency. Potential starts with just being potent, and potent is like power. And the reason I'm bringing it up and starting here is because potential plus performance equals possibilities, and you already got the potential, which means you already have the seeds necessary for greatness on the inside of you, and you didn't even ask for it, you didn't have to apply for it, it's already in you. The question is, what is it gonna take to come out, right? And so I'm excited because when we do what we do over this next 40 minutes and it's interactive, you guys are all like seeds, right? And the thing about education, if you look at the root word of education, it means to pull out. Most people, when they think education or you're getting educated, they think somebody's putting something in you, right? It's a pouring into, right? That if you go to the classroom, there's one person standing at the front and they're doing what? They're teaching and the other people are learning, but we think of it as a one-way street, right? That's not even education. That's the start of the process of education. That person, if you bring your seeds, that person is giving you something. The education doesn't finish itself until we find out what comes out. If seeds were in the ground and we were watering the seeds, will we say we're done? No. What's the next part of the process we're looking for? Let's say we're planting flowers.
Sprouts.
We're looking for sprouts. Let's say we're planting trees. What are we looking for?
Growth.
We're looking for growth. We're looking for something to happen after the interaction. So this is exciting for me because greatness. Everybody in here, right? And when we interact and I do my part, what comes out? Does that make sense? So that means it ain't all on me. This is a group effort. This is a team effort. This is a start of the process. Potential plus performance equals possibilities. You're potent. The question is, what are you going to do with it? What kind of performance do you need to match with that talent? What type of performance do you need to match with that ability to get the possibility to come to fruition, to come to pass? And the thing I love about sports is that who said anything is possible? Anybody remember that? KG. Anything is possible. Why he said that? What moment was it that he said that?
We won the finals.
You won the finals. How many games is it after you win the finals that season? If you win the finals, how many games?
So,
It's over. That's why they say they can never take it away. You understand what I'm saying? That some things, I need you to get this. Some things that once you do it, it's over. That once that challenge steps in the ring with you, once you conquer it, once you tackle it, it's over. You can't challenge me on that anymore. KG knew in that moment that when the clock hit 000 and the Celtics were the champs and he had on the Celtic uniform, he knew that it's over. Every time you said that I can't be a champion, it's what? It's over. Every time we said we don't know if you can come out on top, it's over for that. And what I need you to understand is that every doubt that anybody's had for you, once you step up with that challenge, that's your opportunity to make sure that it's what? It's over. They said, we don't know. Personal story. So I got a scholarship to come to Michigan State University. The opportunity for the scholarship was put in front of me in the 8th grade. So just to give you a little background, I'm from Detroit. What cities y'all from? Let's pop it out. Let's go JK this way. This side.
Grambling.
Grand Blanc.
Milan.
Milan.
Mason.
Mason.
Ann Arbor.
Ann Arbor.
I'm from Detroit, but I stay in Monroe. I used to stay in
Okay, but from the D? Monroe. Okay, cool. So I'm from the D, west side of the city, right? The area where I grew up, it wasn't nothing nice. It just wasn't. It wasn't the worst. I done lived in some bad ones. There's some bad projects in Detroit. Herman Gardens, I done been there. Brightmoor, I done been there. But then the next hood we were in was Drury Road, 1 mile, and I've been there too, Exit 9. And when I was there's a lot of challenges and opportunities in the environment. And I got an opportunity, somebody said, you can go to college, but you have to go to high school and you have to maintain a certain GPA, you have to get a certain number on your ACT. That's called opportunity. How many of you recognize you got an opportunity right now?
Yeah.
Question is always, what are you gonna do with the opportunity? See, no matter where you start, opportunity is gonna make sure to show up for everybody in this room. What are you gonna do at that moment when the opportunity shows up? That means everything. So I'm in middle school. I let you know, nobody in my family had graduated from a major university at this time, right? Nobody in my family had paved the path to success. All the strategies and the tips and everything that people say you're supposed to do to be successful, I never saw it. There was nobody in my family, oh, they gotta be like Uncle so-and-so, gotta be like my mom, gotta be like my dad. Me and my mom were beefed out, my dad was in prison. And not for a little bit. His original sentence was 20 to 80. Now, of course, I didn't know that at the time, but I knew he was gonna be around or away for a long time. I remember watching the news broadcast when you ever, as a kid, you kind of know what's going on, but you don't know exactly. I was about 6. So I kind of knew something was going on. Later, to come to find out, they were talking about my dad and my uncle on the news. Attempted robbery of a car dealership. Who shows up? If you're trying to do a robbery, who's the one group of people you don't want to show up? Police, right? So when I say who shows up, y'all, that's the answer. The one that they didn't want to show, right? So they show up. Confrontation. Gunfire. Thank God nobody got hurt, but you can't fire the police and just walk away. So 20 to 80. I'm trying to set the scene. So when they come and say, you got an opportunity to get a scholarship to go to college somewhere, I knew I was going to high school and I was like, what am I gonna do with this, right? So, boom, 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, I'm knocking it out and the ACT comes. And I took the ACT and I got the grade or the score I need to get on the ACT. So all I need to do what is now? Or what I need to do now is what?
It's a GPA.
Maintain that GPA. Boom, I clicked both of them. I got the GPA, I got the scholarship, I'm on my way to Michigan State. Well, actually, I was on my way to Michigan, but it was U of M Dearborn. Now, I didn't know a whole lot about college, just to let y'all know, like the exposure, you understand? The whole process. I didn't step foot on a college campus till it was time to do orientation. Like when people get tours and all, I didn't know all that. But I did know something, that when you gotta add something on to something, it ain't the same as the original. Does that make sense? So when they said University of Michigan, at first I got excited. I'm like, I'm going to U of M. I was like, why they keep putting Dearborn in the back of it? Like, I didn't like that. It didn't make, I was like, when I watch them on TV, I don't see, Dearborn after the L. I was like, what is that? And they was like, I was like, and mind you, and you might not know Detroit, but I lived on Drury Road. I don't know if you're aware of this. The U of M Dearborn campus is walking distance where I grew up. So my idea of going off to college, anybody going off to college, you don't think that's like down the street. But that's what it was. So when I found that out, I grabbed the map. I was like, you mean y'all want to send me down the street? That's where I'm going to college? They was like, yeah. I was like, nah, not me. I ain't going down the street. So I ended up transferring it to Michigan State, right? The point of the story I was trying to set up is what? Doubts. When people's doubts show up, you got an opportunity to say what to them? It's over. Like once you conquer it, you got an opportunity to say what? It's over. Say it with a little bit of intensity, because I want to show you something. That what's more important in life is not if people believe what you're saying, if people believe that you believe what you're saying. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. There are people I watch on TV. Anybody watch sports talk? Like the debate shows? Anybody heard of Skip Bayless? Right? I watch Skip not because I believe what Skip is saying. I believe Skip believes what he's saying. You ever watch somebody on TV and he's like, he don't even believe that. Like, he's just talking. They don't hold you. Barkley says some crazy stuff sometimes, right? Why do you watch it? Because you believe he believes what he's saying. And what I'm telling you in life, you got to learn the ability and talent to convince yourself to believe what you're saying, and you don't need nobody else's belief. You don't need somebody else to believe in you more than you need to believe in you. And so when I say you say it's over, I'm trying to get you started on the process to let you know that when you start convincing yourself of what's on your plate, what's in front of you, that it's over. That it's over before they find out. Every champion is already a champion before they get crowned. Because you got to be a champion here. You don't make it there without that test, without passing that test. So we're going to say it one more time. When somebody else's doubts show up and you got an opportunity to conquer it, what you got a chance to say to them? It's over. And so here's my chance. I get the scholarship. I'm going to Michigan State. I got the GPA. And then somebody's doubts show up. They say, I don't think you should have transferred this from Michigan State. You should have, kept it down the street. I don't think you're gonna be able to go to Michigan State and succeed. Do y'all consider that a doubt? Let me ask you a question. Considering, you know, I'm not gonna give you the whole background, but second time, but, you know, consider I'm inner city, right? I'm in the hood. My school, average GPA when I graduated, my senior year was 1.6. When I went to school, we showed up, there was bars on the window. We have to walk through the security every day, get patted down. Every day, right? So I'm just trying to set up the environment. There's some classrooms we be sitting in, and if it rained, you could know. Y'all know what I'm saying? When the little tile starts sagging in. And everybody knew when it rained, certain parts of the classroom not to sit in. So I'm just giving you the setup. And so when these doubts show up, my question, do you think I have my own doubts even before this person said this to me? That how can this skinny black kid from the inner city of Detroit go to big old Michigan State? And nobody else had ever done that. Now the doubts hit harder depending on who they come from. Who do you think had that doubt when I'm going to Michigan State?
Your mom?
My mom, my own mother, looked me dead in the eye and said, you can't succeed up there. I'm sitting here thinking, I don't know what you're doing. Like, what are you doing? You ever looked at somebody doing, like, and you're literally, like, what are you doing? Why are you saying this to me? But guess what? When I go to Michigan State, is it gonna be my belief or her belief that carries me through the hard times? When I go into the classroom and I take the test, is it my belief about my ability or hers that allows me to put the right answers on the exam? And that same thing is true for you. And so raise your hand if you ever been doubted before, right? But keep it up if the doubts came from yourself. You ever doubted yourself? All right, hands down. Hands up if somebody else ever doubted. Hands down. Every opportunity is a chance to tell somebody or something that it's over. So when I went to Michigan State, and I met people like Josh Gillespie, my freshman year, I came on a mission and I came with one mantra, and I want you to learn how to apply this. I said, I already got my degree. Not to everybody else. See, sometimes when we talk about belief, and I'm gonna show you one of the best ways to build your belief is you gotta talk to yourself. Now, not out loud, but just anybody that understand what I'm saying, that every successful person I know, they step outside themselves, because there's two parts of us, right? There's an old proverb that says that there are two wolves on the inside of each of us. A grandfather was talking to his grandson, and he's like trying to pass down wisdom. He's like, there's two wolves inside of each of us. Well, there's an evil wolf and a good wolf, a strong wolf and a weak wolf, and depending on which wolf wins is how you interact with life. And he said, well, Grandpa, how do we figure out which wolf wins? He's like, whichever one you feed the most. Does this make sense? That whichever part of you feed the most. And so you gotta feed the greatest part of yourself so that you can continue to doubt it us all. So that you can be able to stand up to doubt when it shows up. And so here I have an opportunity, and my own mom is saying you can't make it. This is the person who's supposed to be supporting you. This person supposed to be pushing you. And now all of a sudden, you know, in the middle of anybody ever been in a fist fight? Ever been in a fist fight where it's more than one person? And some people supposed to be on your team or your side, and the other? It ain't no worse feeling to be in a fight and then you find out people that you were counting on fighting, they ain't throwing no punches. They ain't swinging no hands, right? And so that's the position that metaphorically I found myself in. And so why am I bringing this up? Because our ability to overcome the doubt is what's going to lead to the success. Our ability to overcome something, stepping into the arena and saying, I don't think you can do it. And so when I went to college, that was my whole mission. That I showed up and I said, I ain't leaving without a degree. I will not leave this university without a degree. And it was a decision that I was going to win before the battle started, right? And so I'm saying that's what we need to implement. And so I'm going to give you 4 phases, because we all go through the different phases. I want you to feel good at each phase. 4 phases that you go through when you're trying to accomplish anything. The first phase is survival. Everybody say survival.
Survival.
This is when you're not sure if you're gonna be able to make it, but in the survival phase, you gotta be able to master your pain. Anybody ever felt pain? Emotional pain, physical pain? Pain, the purpose of pain is to wake you up. Did you know that? To alert you that something is wrong. Because if you don't feel the pain, then the damage can go too far, right? So everybody done worked out, right? And so sometimes you gotta push past the pain, but anybody ever had that pain where the body is sending like an extra, like we gotta stop, right? Like there's pain you can push through, so you gotta learn how to master the pain. Cause some pain you need to keep pushing you to where you wanna go. And so once you master the pain, you gotta go to this next phase, which is finding your power. And this is where I wanna kind of sit for a second. Because power is gonna be the key to your whole life. Your ability to find your power. And so I'm using an acronym for power. The first letter of power is what? P, right? What do you think that stands for? You just have to guess. Anybody just thought I guess. Perseverance, that's a great one. Give you a warning, there's a lot of good words to start with P that are positive. Potential, you picked that up. I didn't want to point that out. You there with me. One more time, your name? Oh, I dropped that and Obi went and picked it up real quick, all right? Power, well, yep, we use power, but it's not that. A word that starts with P, that starts this whole process. Positivity, potential, perseverance. What else? It's a good one. And you know it, it ain't even a deep word. As soon as you hear it, you're like, dang, that's exactly right. And another word that starts with P that is so important, so critical, that you probably won't succeed without it. If you're trying to, potent, nope.
Hey.
That's a good one. He's like, I'm gonna go back to the one we put in the beginning. Potent is what you already got with you. If you're trying to achieve anything significant, anything special, anybody watching NBA playoffs right now? All right, we got Booker and CP3. You think they expect to win?
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Over, well, I was about to say the Nets. I don't know. The Nets not looking too good right now. But let's go to Sixers. You think the Sixers believe they got a chance to win?
Yeah.
Yup. Who else in the West? Who else playing like they think they got a chance to win?
Yeah.
You think Donovan think he can win? Right? What about Kawhi and them boys? You think they just gonna let them walk away with it? Right? So each of them are playing with something that's pushing them. What do you think that something is? Pride, absolutely. Definitely. Another good one. It's not pride. But that's a good one. Passion, passion. Passion is great. It's not passion. It's not passion, but passion is great. What's another one?
Paycheck.
Nope, but that's a good one. Possibilities is another good one that's in the book, but that's not the one we're looking for.
Someone say perseverance yet?
Yo, we got perseverance. AJ started us off with perseverance. So what is something that everybody in the NBA playoffs right now is playing with? And those who play with a greater level of it are going to be the ones that come out on top.
Passion.
Nope, right at passion.
Damn it! Open your ear, dude. No.
Production.
Production is another good one.
Oh my God. I already said,
Pain.
Nope, you're going to go through some pain though, but this will help push you through the pain. What I'm talking about right now, when pain shows up, because pain will visit us all, when pain shows up, this is going to push you right through it.
you might as well tell us.
Yeah.
He said, whoa, say that, hey, say that one again. He went way deep.
I said
Psychological development. That's a good one, but no, that's not what I'm looking for. Power, pain, potential, all of it.
Possibility?
No. Watch, you're gonna say, like, oh yeah, that is it. Right there.
Patience.
Right there. It's right on the tip.
Say it though.
Patience. It's not patience.
It's not patience.
You see the second letter?
Proper.
You.
You.
I think it's on.
You.
Purpose.
Boom.
Oh.
I knew it. Everybody said, all right,
Oh,
so check
man,
this out.
come on, dude.
Follow me on this. Follow me on this.
Come on, D.
In order to go through the different stages of life to get the success you're looking for, you're gonna need purpose.
Wow.
What's your purpose? And when you can't find the purpose, you can't find the prize. But the purpose has to start within what? What was the second letter? You. It has to start within you. So if you want power, and you already have it, but if you want your power to create the results you want in life, if you want to be able to get from mastering your pain to finding your power, you got to have purpose. Why are you doing what you're doing? How did I know I was going to get a degree from Michigan State? the second I showed up. I came from a high school with a 1.6 GPA. I had the highest GPA of any male in the whole school, and my GPA wasn't even that great. I thought it was great. You ever think something about yourself and then you get in a different environment, you're like, oh. Anybody know that moment? I know it.
Yeah.
I was at orientation, college orientation. They had us 3 to a room. There's only 2 beds, right? And Michigan State used to do something real cute. They used to give cute names to messed up situations, right? So 3 to a room, what would you call that? 3 to a room, it's only 2 people supposed to be there.
3 little mice.
Yeah, 3 little mice. Yeah, what else? What would you call that? How would you describe that? I mean, not, you know.
Somebody don't got a bed.
Somebody don't got a bed. What else? The room is what?
Small.
The room is small. It's overpacked. You know what they called it? They said, oh, this is what we call transitional housing. I said, that's real cute. I just made that sound real good, right? But it wasn't, I just was happy I was one of the first people to get there, so I got one of the beds, right? So I'm sitting on the beds, I'm talking to one of the guys that's there, and I finished number 1 of all the males, right? And I was number 8 overall in my class, 8 out of the top 10, right? And so, how do you think I feel about, you know, being number 1, top ranked guy in my school?
Great.
Feeling great. Now, going into senior year, I got word, I found out I was number 11th overall. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like the whole senior class, I was number 11. And then they always put out like the top 10 seniors, GPA graduate. So how'd you think I felt about being number 11?
Man.
Horrible. Like, I'd rather be 100 than 11, right? Because you like right there, you know, you read the list and invisible, you see your name right on it. Like, we just went 1 lower, I'd be right there. And so I made sure that I wasn't gonna finish 11. So I got up to 8. So when they put out the top, all the seniors, and you know, if I was number 8, number 9, if the top 7 were female or girls, what do you think number 8 was?
You.
Oh yeah, you're right, I messed up. What was number 9? And what was number 10? So I'm the only dude in the top 10. I'm feeling good. So, you know, you start a conversation with people you don't know. And you ever had to do that, Parker?
Mhm.
Like you just trying to break the ice. So, you know, I'm like, hey man, you know, I'm talking to my man. I was like, did your school do the whole GPA thing? He's like, yeah, I mean, you know, top 10. I'm like, yeah. Now mind you, the GPA I had was a 3.2. Follow me? So I'm like, yeah, man, you know, y'all do that top 10 thing? He's like, yeah, because I'm ready to tell my story, you know, how I got in there. And so he said, yeah, we did that at my school. I said, cool. I was like, where'd you finish? He was like, I was like number 18. I'm like, dang, man. No, my bad, he said 12. He said I was number 12. And I was like, dang, man, I know what that feels like. I was right there with you once upon a time, coming into senior year. You know, 11, 12, so close, but couldn't make it. And I ain't say all this to him, but I'm thinking it to myself. And so I'm like, man, I used to be right there with you. And then he was like, I'm like, yo, you number 12. I've been there before. I know what you feel like. Now I asked one question and changed it all. I said, what was your GPA? This man looked me in the face. Said I had a 3.8. And that's how I felt. And so again, I wasn't the best at math, but I could figure out that if he's a 3.8 and he number 12, and I'm a 3.2, and I'm number 8, we ain't even playing on the same field, right? Like that was way different. And so my whole point of sharing that is that you gotta have purpose. So what was my purpose? My purpose wasn't to come out there and outdo him. My purpose was to make sure I got the degree. And so in order to have purpose, you're gonna run up against the next letter in power, which is what? What letter? Oh. Now I'm just, you know, keep it moving. I'm gonna just tell you what this one stands for, unless anybody wanna guess.
Opportunity.
Nope. It's actually
Outcome.
outcome. It's not a positive word. Let's start it with that. You would think that it would be something like outcome or opportunity, but if you have purpose, I can guarantee you're gonna run into obstacles, and obstacles provide what? What do they provide? Similar challenge, opposition. Right? So anytime you have purpose, you're gonna run into opposition. And so what I'm saying is, one of the reasons I'm giving you these stories is I had a purpose. I wanted to succeed in life. And I had an opposition in the form of my mom, and an opposition in the form, and I'm not even blaming him, but when you run up to somebody, you find out they come, that's that old feeling. Like, you know, again, I thought I was like, yeah, I got this. And I was like, oh, there are people. It's almost like I wanted to ask them, how many more are you? You know, the 3.8s that can't get in the top 10. How many more are you coming up here? Like, your friends, what school did they go to? Are they come? Like, because what am I dealing with? But then I realized that opposition is not outside. The opposition is where? It's inside. Now, there's going to be some outside opposition, without a doubt. But what are you going to do when you got purpose and opposition shows up? And the next letter is W. You got to have your will tested. So, P is what? Purpose. O is opposition. W is what? Will. I don't want you to say this out loud. I just want you to think to yourself. On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rank your will? Now, while you're thinking about that, I do want to say this. Usually I have people write it down, but we're just going to be open to what are some of the things that you would consider to be opposition, obstacles in your journey? Things that's trying to hold you back from accomplishing what you want to accomplish. It's just a challenge. So if I go back to when I was in college, one of the oppositions is, if you graduate from a school with a 1.6 overall GPA, do you feel like they adequately prepared you for that next level? No. So what is one of the things that you think that if you had to guess for me that I showed up, what was one of my opposition going up to Michigan State, 40,000 students? Because I wasn't prepared. So one of my oppositions is a lack of preparation. What's something that you feel like might be an opposition, an obstacle? We're gonna call it obstacle.
Not getting in bed.
Ooh, talk to me. Like in what way?
Like how you did, or not you necessarily, but you had 3 people to the room.
Oh, you said not getting to bed. I thought you meant not getting to bed like not getting sleep.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you meant something else.
Yeah.
Okay, not getting to bed. Okay, that would be
Okay.
one. But what else?
I don't know, I agree with what you just said, but he didn't even say we get enough.
Oh, you mean the other one not getting the sleep piece?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just throw them both in there.
Not getting sleep.
Yeah, not getting them a proper amount of rest or sleep. What else? What might be opposition? Let's just
Self-doubt.
self-doubt. What else?
And if you're in a sport, you get injured.
Injuries. That's huge. What else?
A loss.
A loss. I'm gonna hit on that in a minute. I'm gonna show you how losing can be. You can make it where losing is impossible. What else? Obstacles. You know, things that in your own path. Ain't no right or wrong answers, obviously.
Time management.
Bingo. Time management is huge. Anybody ever had issues with time? Like can't get it all done. Where did it go? Right? What else? Obstacles.
Zero.
That's all you're gonna say to that one, right? They obstacles even when they don't want to be, right? You ever had one trying to help you out, and then you like, you are not helping. Well, like, I'm just trying to be. I'm here to help. You messed up when you said here. Why are you here right now? Because you're here and that's not helping me. Y'all know what I'm talking about? You know, I love women, so I ain't trying to. But sometimes, boom, they can be obstacles, right? You trying to remind me the movie. That's the opposite. So we ain't gonna go there. But obstacles mainly when you're trying to pursue something and then somebody else is in the way. What else? That's a good one though.
Friends.
Oh, wrong friends. The wrong friends. Because you got the right friends, you're in a great spot. I want to hit on this self-doubt piece real quick because confidence is the key. But confidence is one of those things where if you got it, you become 10 times better than when you don't have it. Even if you got the same skill set. You understand what I mean? Like, I remember I'm listening to Jay-Z, he's giving a podcast. Anybody see the one he just did with LeBron? Not too, okay. He was talking about how he was at concert and there were times that he would forget his lyrics. Now that's messed up, right? You the one with the song. And so what would he do? He would play to the what? Play to the crowd, right? Because he had to maintain his what? Confidence at all times. And so what I'm saying is that that's what we need to overcome the doubt. But what about when the self-doubts come? They just keep coming and coming. Let me ask it like this. Everybody didn't experience doubt, right? When doubts show up, do they show up one at a time?
No.
Like in a single file line, nice and orderly?
No.
No, how do they show up?
All at once.
All at once. Like if doubts were people, they'd be a gang. right? And it just be just jumping people. Here's the thing though, how do you overcome doubt? Anybody want to know the answer to that question? Like, cause you got self-doubt, you're not feeling good. How did that, we can call that negativity, right? How do you overcome negativity? Get back up. Imagine this, I wish I had some, imagine this, I want you to play your imagination. Imagine we had a cup of a clear glass, right? And we pour like Coca-Cola in it. And it's half full with Coke right now. And we're gonna call that negativity. How do you get the Coke out of the glass? You can't pour it out, because can you just pour out negative thoughts? Anybody ever did that in life? You can't just how do you get them out though? Once they get in,
Drink it.
you could,
I would just drink
no,
it.
what I'm saying is, how do you, yeah. He's
No,
talking
like
about
if you
drinking
like
the
if
Coke.
you like drink the Coke, you take
Yeah.
in all the negativity, but you gotta come back out.
But, or check this out. So you got the glass, and these negative thoughts are in your head, right? So you can't really drink because they're already in there. Let's say the glass is your mind, all right? You follow me? Glass is your mind, Coke is in the glass, and you trying to get the thoughts out. Anybody, how do you get negative thoughts out your head? You ever had a song in your mind that you don't like, but you can recite all the lyrics to it?
Yeah.
Why can you recite those lyrics?
Play it over and over again.
Because it's played over and over and over again. Now, that points to an environment. If you're in an environment that is feeding, so how do you get the thoughts out? You can get out of that environment, but the ones that are already in, how do you get them out? The only way to get out, if this room was dark, how do you get the darkness out? Light. Is there any, other than adding light, is there any other way to get the darkness out? Can you like grab the darkness and pull it out the room?
No.
No. So check this out. Self-doubt. Why is that so critical? Because it's already in there. The only way to get it out is that you can't get it out by taking things away. You gotta get it out by adding more to it. So if you were to pour in water into Coke, because Coke kind of dark, right? It would do what? It would start getting light. But if you go home, if you practice, you keep pouring more and more water, eventually the whole glass goes from being dark brown to what? Clear. Did you have to take any of the Coke out? Do you have to take any of your self-doubts out of your head? What do you have to do? You gotta pour more positive thoughts in. Y'all follow me?
Yep.
And that's when opposition shows up. Your will has to get you into a routine where you're putting yourself in a position is to push out the negative by putting in more positive. And your will will either be stronger or weaker based on how you deal with your obstacles. And so the decision that you gotta make is to become more committed during tougher times. Anybody got any heroes or people you admire that are famous that everybody in the room would know? Throw something out, JK. LeBron, who else?
Kobe.
Kobe, love Kobe. Who else? People that you admire, you look and say, man, it's something about him or her that really inspires me. It could be in politics, it could be in entertainment. Right here, AJ. Ocho, okay. Now, can you think of a moment where that person impressed you or inspired you? You got one for LeBron, you got one for Ocho, and one more time. No, you said Kobe. Can you think of a moment where they inspired you? What's that moment for you? When he flipped over his own land on his feet, what about Kobe?
He won a fourth ring without.
When he won the
Shaq.
fourth ring without Shaq?
It was like a game during the Celtics when it was him, I forgot who else, and he dunked on. Forgot his name. Yeah.
Oh, the Jason Terry dunk,
Yeah.
where everybody thought he died, and they did the meme?
Yeah.
Right. So all of these moments are impressive, right? Did they come before or after adversity?
Before and after.
Yeah, well, before and after, but for the most part, it came what? After a challenge. Ocho had plenty of challenges. He went to a small school to get to, Cincinnati and then be able to do what he did. Kobe had plenty of challenges. The thing I love about Kobe is, did everybody expect Kobe to be Kobe when he was drafted? Because anybody know what number he was drafted? Lower than that?
He got traded to.
You got traded, yup.
Charlotte.
He wasn't drafted 8th. He wasn't drafted 9th. Wasn't drafted 10th. Kobe was drafted 13th. You think that 12 teams knew Kobe Bryant was gonna become who he was? They'd be like, nah, we want somebody else. Even some of the names that was taken ahead of Kobe. This guy named Kerry Kittles. Anybody know who Kerry Kittles is?
I know.
I heard about him because this conversation right here. This exact conversation.
Because of this conversation. There was another guy, he had a long name, I forget his name, but he was big. So they just drafted him. It was only a couple guys. Ray Allen, I mean, obviously he went to a big school. Allen Iverson, but most of the guys were no names. My point is, Kobe had some adversity first. And then LeBron, before that dunk, any adversity for LeBron? A lot, right? So what's my point? How do we deal with our adversity is gonna strengthen or weaken your will. It's kind of like, you ever been out and it's raining? Anybody, when it's raining and then the wind blows and it get up under, anybody know what I'm talking about? That ever happen to you? What do you do with your grip on the umbrella? You hold it tighter, you squeeze it. And I'm saying that when you have a purpose and you run into opposition, your will, you either gonna get stronger or get weaker. And if you get stronger, your will gets stronger, then you're gonna elevate to the next level, which is next level, it's just an E. But if it gets weaker, what's gonna happen? And then what happens?
So
You get soaked. And you don't get the R, which is the result you want. So if you wanna have power in life, it starts with purpose. Well, how are you gonna push past the purpose? Does that make sense? Y'all follow me? So the opposition, whatever the opposition is in your mind, you gotta have a purpose to push past it. And you know how you push past it? Because the W, the will, the E stands for execute. You know that you push past the adversity or the obstacles if after the obstacles show up, you're able to execute. Just like everybody we said, they executed after the adversity, right? But when you come with excuses, then you know your will got weaker. Now, if you're looking at excuses versus execution, they both are gonna bring results, right? Oh yeah, destroy excuses. If you look at excuses versus execution, which one are gonna bring you the results that you want? Execution. This man right here taught me excuses are the tools of the incompetent.
They're monuments to nothing, and those that use them are seldomly good at
anything else. And so what I'm saying is this, fellas. At the end of the day, you're writing your own story. You understand this? That life, like when we look at Ocho, he went to a small school. Was he supposed to succeed? No. And when I say supposed to, I'm saying the outside world. When you look at Kobe, was he supposed to succeed? Do you know Minnesota had the opportunity? Who played on Minnesota early in their career for a long time? KG. You know who else had the opportunity to drive Kobe Bryant? Minnesota. You know what they said? We don't want him because he's too young. He came straight from high school. We already got one of those. Could y'all imagine what KG and Kobe would have done? I mean, we know what Kobe and Shaq did, but they didn't even like each other, right? You think, this is just a guess, you think Kobe and KG would have got along? Y'all don't think so?
KG got a bad attitude.
No, but KG's competitive. And did KG have what was Kobe's number one issue with Shaq? Number one over everything. Shaq didn't what? No, he cared. Because Shaq cared when it mattered. But if it was the off season, what was Shaq doing? He didn't like his work ethic. Has anybody ever called KG lazy? Has anybody ever said KG was on the court and not giving it his all? And so what I'm saying is we don't know for sure, but KG and Kobe together, that might have been. Just defensively. Was KG good defensively? Monster. Was Kobe good defensively? Would there be an argument over the ball between KG and Kobe? Because as sweet as KG was, he didn't really score 40 a night, did he? He did a little bit of everything. So my whole point is, they didn't believe in Kobe. And with LeBron, how many times has LeBron been doubted? Over and over, every year. So here's the point that I'm trying to drive home. You writing your own story. How do you want it to finish? You're gonna run into some obstacles. How are you gonna push past that? Like, greatness is in you, but you gotta push it out of you through the challenges. Whatever, I don't care. How many times does your own parent, and the only one that's there, and I'm just, because my dad was in prison, look you in the face and say you can't do something? that's not gonna empower, but that doesn't stop you. You gotta push past that. And you gotta find yourself in a position where you say, they can't stop me. Nothing can stop me. Because I got it made up, I got a made up mind. And when you make up your mind, it becomes real difficult. Like, everybody had a job before, right?
Yeah.
Getting ready to leave work, right? Did you drive yourself to your job, everybody? All right, let's say you're getting ready to leave work one night. And the car don't start for some reason. What do you do next? Call somebody. Cell phone dead. You look at the battery, cell phone dead. What do you do next?
Find the problem yourself. That's all I'm
What do you
saying.
say? Catching the bus stop running. What do you do next? You say, you walk, all right. Legs get tired. No, I ain't gonna, you said your feet get caught. Legs get tired. What we do now?
Break.
Take a break. What else? What's next? Where we trying to get to? After work. Home. All right, so what do?
Hitchhike.
Hitchhike. What I'm noticing is nobody said I quit. Nobody said I give up. Nobody said I just guess I gotta sleep on the job tonight. Or knock back on the door. He said, I always crossed my mind. So here's my point. This is what I wanna grab. A made up mind means that no matter what you put in front of me, I'm just trying to figure out another way to get to the other side. Another way to get what it is that I want. Another way to make sure that my mind, wherever I see it, and I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get it. And you notice I can't just look back, because when you get vision on the inside of you so tough, other people begin to react to your vision. And that's how you become successful in life, is when you can see something so vividly in your own mind that other people start to believe and they can't even see it. It's the type of vision that I used to watch when Diddy would do reality TV, and he would be painting a picture how he wanted the concert to look. And then he said, we're gonna start with this, and you're gonna see, and people would just start tuning in, because once they saw his vision was so strong, it made the blind see. And so what I'm trying to let you know is that the amount of vision you gotta have to kill the self-doubt on the inside of you has to be so strong that other people begin to see it, even when you're not painting the picture. And that's where it comes for you to have confidence over self-doubt, is you gotta have some strategies. So I'm gonna give you a few of them. One is you gotta talk to yourself in a way that you have already won this thing, that already got this. And you gotta spend time by yourself already seeing the positive thing occurring, so that when it actually happens in real life, it feels almost like rehearsal. That guys like Kobe practiced game-winning shots in his mind over and over and over and over, and then he went out, and then during practice, what was he doing? Practicing that same shot over and over. One night in Miami, he missed the game winner. Did anybody know what he did after that game? Went back to the gym and practiced what shot? That same shot. Because he knew he was gonna get another opportunity. Because at one point, when Kobe came to the league, he shot against Utah a three-pointer with the game on the line. What did he do? Air ball. And then he got the ball again, and he shot another three-pointer, and what did he do on that one? And what did people start saying? Maybe the kid is not good enough. The self-doubt starts showing up. The doubt starts showing up. Maybe you can't do it. And what he realizes is this: I got a chance to make sure that all that talk about Kobe's not clutch, I can make sure that it's over, but I got to put in the work. And so he realized, and he said something brilliant. He said, even on that shot, he said, I realized why. He's like, I watched the film, and I noticed that every shot I was shooting was coming up short. He's like, because I was a rookie, and in high school, I didn't play as many games as I did in the pros, so by the time the playoffs came, what was going on with his legs? They were tired. What do you need on the jump shot?
Legs.
To get the lift. And then it was coming up short. So what do you think he worked on the off season? Legs, conditioning. You understand what I'm saying? But he never, just the way y'all didn't say I'm gonna quit, he never said, well, I guess I'm just not clutch. No, he said, I guess I just gotta find out another way to do this thing. So I'm gonna start working on it. And then he got to a point where he started hitting, he became known to be in clutch. So all that talk about Kobe's clutch is over. So I'm telling you, any doubt that people have about you, you have an opportunity right now to make sure that it's over. that you're never able to say that to me again because I proved in this moment that ain't true about me. It might be true about somebody else. You might have got a mistaken identity that you thought about somebody else's failure and tried to put it on my plate, but no, I'm not taking that. That's not on my path. Now, failure is a part of the path to success. We are familiar with that? That if you're on the path, you're gonna run into failure, but are you gonna use it to strengthen your will and execute and get the result you want, or are you gonna use it to make excuses? Because if you use it to make excuses, the results what you get, it's not gonna fuel you, it's not gonna excite you. And so what I'm saying is, boom, step one. When you're by yourself, some things you only gotta do, it's just gotta be you. You and the man in the mirror. When you're by yourself, are you spending time convincing yourself that you got what it takes to be successful? That whatever doubt comes up, that you start pouring the positive thoughts that wash the doubt out. Because again, I'll share some of my story where your mom doesn't doubt you, and your dad's not in your life, and your school didn't prepare you, and you grew up in the hood, and they send you to Michigan State. And let me tell you, you go to Michigan State, it ain't nothing like Detroit. Culture shock. That I would go to Michigan State and it was just stuff that was new to me. It wasn't like the same way as it was back home. Like I went to a McDonald's, it was like midnight. They had this thing called Welcome Week where you just walk around and get to know the campus. It's midnight and we looked at the McDonald's and I'm looking at it like, wow. And they're like, wow, you ain't never seen a McDonald's with 2 floors? I'm like, nah, I ain't never seen a McDonald's at midnight with people on the inside at midnight. Cause where I'm from, when the sun think about going down, boom, drive through only. Does that make sense? Like, in certain areas, you can't walk on the inside of the restaurant when it get dark. It was a culture shock. And so all those doubts showed up, but what I kept doing every day is convincing myself. I would say, I'm gonna make it. I don't know about anybody else. They gave me all the stats. Kids who come from Cody. First of all, it's only 7 of y'all here. Out of the 40,000 students, it's 7 of y'all that made it from Cody. And they said, then the graduation rate from those, only 2 or 3. I was like, I don't know the other 1 or 2 people, but I'm one of those that's gonna count myself in. And I'm gonna do what it takes. Does that make sense? So when an obstacle came up, so when I went to certain classes and they were difficult for me, I didn't give up. I went to math, and in math I had a 65%, 2/3 of the way through the semester. After that point, I could have, again, made a decision. See, when you run up against a challenge, you need to, as I'm wrapping up here, but you run up against a challenge, and you get this. You don't have a problem to solve. You got a decision to make. People see a challenge and they think it's a problem, and it is, but it's you got a decision. What type of person am I gonna be? And this problem is helping me to define that. So when I showed up, I told you, math bullied me. In junior year of high school, I got a D, then an F. Because you get 4 report cards in high school, right? Then what do you think I got on the next 2? A D and an F. So then I went to senior year and I was in trig. So I go to senior year and they like, we think you should take trig and calc. I was like, when? It was like senior year. I was like, at the same time? They're like, yeah. And I looked at these people like they were crazy. It's like, I'm like, that's like bench pressing. That's like bench pressing and you can't get it up. And they say, I know the answer. Put more weight on it. Does that make sense? And so I was like, we can't do that. We're going right back to the trig. And guess what I did? First card marking, I got a B. Next card marking, I got a C. Next card marking, I got an incomplete. And the only reason I got a D on the last one is because she didn't want to hold me back from going to college. So I'm saying that to say, when I showed up to Michigan State with my opportunity, was I prepared in math? Not at all. So when math punched me in the face, I had a 60-something%. That's actually, if I went back to my past, that's what I was supposed to get. But every challenge gives you an option to create a future, and your future's not based on your past. And so what I had to do is I had to look at the future and say, do I want it to be the way that it was, or the way that I want it to be? And the only way to get it the way that I want it to be is do what I've never done before. So I went to every tutoring session. I went to every TA session. I started study groups with people I didn't even know. I just literally created flyers, put them up all over, said, come on through, and we taught ourselves. Why? Because we was committed to the outcome, committed to the victory, no matter what. And I'm challenging y'all to do the same thing. No matter what obstacle shows up, you gotta come through that thing. No matter what obstacle comes up, you gotta pour in the positive to push out the negative. And when you do that, you got the power to achieve anything you want. But it starts with that purpose. You gotta overcome those obstacles and strengthen your will so that you execute to get the results that you want. So, real quick, I just wanna know, I'll go around out of what we covered today, because success is an individual thing. Just share what I call the MVP, most valuable point, something that you got out of it for yourself. That was the most valuable. Might have been a few of them, but just one of them that's an MVP. So whoever wanna go, AJ, what's your MVP?
I really just, what I got from the whole thing, I feel like I got the key to the streets, like I got the key to my life, I control my own future, really.
Without a doubt, love it. We don't have to go in order, just whoever, but I got your
really
MVP.
like the power acronym, that was nice.
Yeah, what do you like, for you personally, what do you like about the
I don't
acronym?
know, it just gave me like something to think about, like when I go to like problems or obstacles or whatever.
No doubt, you can actually see where you at. So the R is the result you want in the end, right? And it starts with the P, which is your power, your purpose. What I wanna do real quick is if you take away the R and the P, what are you left with? The middle letters. O, W, E. What is that?
Oh,
Oh, he said owie. He said this is painful. So I just wanna say this. One of the things I always want you to think about with that power acronym is at the end of the day, everybody in this room, we will do more for somebody else we care about than we'll do for ourselves in certain moments, right? Who do you owe it to be successful? No, it's not, you ain't gotta answer, but who do you owe it to? Who's counting on you? Who believes in you? Did you know that you not working hard, you quitting or you failing is a betrayal to those that believe in you? Those that push you, those that put their name on you, you owe it to them and yourself. So that's a great one. Let's keep it, yeah, right here, got it.
basically,
Your MVP.
it's all on me, and it's how I want my outcome to be, and not how somebody told me my outcome to be.
Exactly. Because people would have told Ocho your school wasn't big enough. People already told LeBron that you ain't all that. And people told Kobe that 12 other people better than you. But what did they say to themselves? That's the key. All right, MVP.
Don't
Cam.
let doubts like down you and define who you are.
I was about to say without a doubt. And the thing is that doubt visits every single person, and we can't. So don't feel bad about having doubt, but what are you gonna do after the doubt shows up? So that's a good one. Whoever wanna go next.
I was gonna say the same thing, but overcoming like self-doubt and outside doubt from others,
Yep.
I think that is.
So what you do is you do a routine over and over, consistently, reminding yourself of why, okay, with the power, why do I have the power? Why am I good? Why am I potent? I have potential, but why am I potent? Why do I have value? Like answering these questions, continue to say, all right, this is what I'm good at, and focusing on that. Because if you don't, whatever you focus on grows. Y'all ever notice that? Right now, if I said one word, if I said breakfast, what comes to mind?
Eggs.
Bacon, eggs, pancakes, breakfast.
I'm thinking, like the hotel breakfast, like the continental.
He said that with a smile. That must have been a good breakfast too. So here's my point. I said one word that drove our what? Our focus to what kind of food? But you could have said anything, right? So what I'm trying to say, the words you say to yourself starts to paint pictures in your head. And those pictures need to be successful. So you need to constantly convince yourself that you're gonna be successful by saying the right words to yourself, because all I had to do was say breakfast. Because your words, they impact your thoughts. Nobody started thinking, steak, chicken. Now if I said Thanksgiving, would y'all get the same answers? Boom, said turkey. He said eggs. So that's a good one. Let me get yours, Parker, your MVP.
The power acronym too.
Okay, what'd you like about it?
I just, like, it's just like straight up, I don't really know how to explain it.
But just say what you feel. What are you feeling when you think about it?
like, it just makes sense to me, like,
Yeah, it sits well with you.
like the power, the purpose, and stuff like that.
Right. And when something makes sense, it's easier to act on. When you get it, right? And so that's what we all need to do to be successful in life. If y'all got anybody got any questions for me, any comments or anything else you want to add to it, if not, I'm gonna turn it over to Jay. But any questions, comments, anything pop up?
Thanks.
I appreciate it. I'm gonna add this last piece. I did say, I was talking about how losing is impossible. It's just something that I believe in, and I have a little daughter. She's 11 now, and one thing I taught to her is that when you do anything, a lot of people say there's winning and losing. I'm saying no, it's 3 outcomes. You win, you learn, or you lose. How you win is you achieve your goal. How you learn is you don't achieve your goal, but you figure out why. That's what Kobe did with the shots. Oh, my shots are coming up short. I gotta work on my legs. The only way you lose is to quit. So you can make sure that losing is impossible by never quitting. And how do you never quit? You take every L, you turn that loss into a lesson. And it's no longer a loss. So Kobe shot the air balls. Was that a loss overall in life for him? Because he learned lessons that allowed him to go on to the next level. And so what I need you to understand is that losing becomes impossible when you take on that idea that I will win, I will learn, but I will never lose. Because I will never quit. I'll just keep pushing through whatever it is I gotta do and learn from it. So I just wanted to make sure I threw that in because I said that earlier. All right, I'm turning it back over to you, Jay.
Y'all give it up for D. Give it up for D. Appreciate you, baby. Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Hey, listen. Thank you all for your attentiveness. I'm gonna let you go, because I know like you got this extra hour on you. I know, once you leave here, you're kinda good for the night. I know I'm trying to keep y'all from rolling up, so let me just go on. Go on, take up a little time so you can't roll it up. Obi, you can't roll it up.
I'm good. I'm gonna sign them. I just want to make sure I spell their name.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Parker, P-A-R-K-E-R. J.K. Not Jeremy King, but J.K.
JK.
Just J.K. You got O.B.?
So we got Gavin. Obi is O-B-I-E?
No, it's just O and the B.
Oh, O-B, like literally O-B.
It's O.B.
Okay.
And then you got A.J. Them easy to spell.
Okay.
I got it.
But I would've-
Hold on. You can't spell Cam with no C. It's Cam with the K.
Okay.
It's the black Cam. You know, we mean, oh, my fault. Listen. So, a few changes in the schedule.
Is this good or bad?
Depending on how you look at it. You with me, so it's gonna always be good.
Leaving Thursday.
So, no. OB, you need to take a picture of your diploma for Libby. You need to go see Libby tomorrow.
Except for mom, so you could.
You good. Whose parents drove? Call your parents tonight. Tell them to be here Thursday night.
I told you.
I just said
You said no.
Thursday night.
Why Thursday night?
Huh?
Why Thursday night?
Well, we can stay Friday night if you want to.
You good. We go Thursday night, good.
So what's gonna happen is we're going to, so the president is gonna come on Thursday night and speak with you, and then we'll go to B-Dubs, unless y'all don't want to,
No, B-Dub is good.
and then you can go home. So he'll speak, we're gonna go to B-Dubs earlier than we would, because we was going at like 6 o'clock. So that's a great question. What time should we have the parents here?
What time you wanna go to B-Dub?
Just have
So-
them be here by like 9. I'd say if you're going at 6.
Who live? How far are you?
Like an hour, 30 minutes.
So what do you think would be good for your parents?
Probably like 8,
8 o'clock?
9, 8, maybe.
8's probably better than driving real late at night.
Well, they don't have, what time is PC talking.
But you want, or you want to have them pick you up in the morning?
That's too much.
Okay, so you want to pick you up at night?
Yeah.
Okay, look, I'm just trying to,
I'd rather stay the night and just get.
I mean, we can stay the night if everybody
Just
wants
leave
to.
early.
I'm down
Just
to
leave
stay
early in
I'm
the
staying
morning.
the night and leaving in the morning. I'm not.
You
worried
still have
about
all day
going by
Friday.
night.
okay.
Yeah, no.
So watch this. Here we go. We're done on Thursday night. Hold on, I don't know if I like that.
I mean, we could just chill.
Them jokers might be trying to.
No,
Trying
man.
to what?
No, no.
Weed.
So listen. So that's okay. So we're gonna be dubs. We're gonna be dubs. So we'll make a difference. We're gonna be dubs, and then you all will need to be checked out. If you guys want to leave that night, Park, you want to leave that night. You want to leave that night. That's fine. But you be checked out. Keys turned in by 9
PM.
a.m.
Alright.
Is that good? Is that good? Unless y'all, who plans to leave that night though? Who plans to leave that night?
I mean,
I'm not.
Maybe, okay.
I'm not leaving.
So you gonna have your parents come?
Are you homesick?
Listen, now you know what your daddy
Oh,
said.
they work. My mom got work in the morning. Both of them work in the morning.
On Friday morning? Yeah, okay, so this is good for you then. I got you, okay. Listen, I'm gonna make all y'all leave. I ain't gonna have y'all just hanging out. Just roll a dub up there, anybody. Just trying to get a little Henny or something. Yeah, I ain't fool y'all, and I'm just kidding. So I'm gonna make a decision on tomorrow about when y'all leaving. So we might just say 8 o'clock for Thursday.
Because yeah, they like he said, they working early.
On Friday.
Yeah, on Friday.
So you need to do that night.
Yeah.
Okay, so we just make it work then. How far from Battle Creek?
15 minutes.
How many?
15.
Oh, that's it? Oh, okay, yeah, we good. 8 o'clock, yeah, we be done by then. So as soon as President Corey is done talking, then we gonna load up,
Yeah.
hit B-dubs, and then y'all get y'all stuff packed up.
So what
Just
should be
pack before
talking?
we leave.
Probably about 4:30. Like, so after your class, then we'll have him talk at, no, it's Laura, because you guys will be your schedule on Thursday. Oh, yeah, so now I got him coming at 4, I twisted. He's coming at 4 p.m. So he'll be done by 4:15, 4:20. He's not talking long. No, we out. Is that cool, everybody?
Yeah.
Y'all straight? Okay. Take a picture. Go see. Yep. Any questions? Are we good?
Good.
DeAndre gonna sign the book. So y'all let him know your name. He's gonna sign the book, give you the book, and then we are good. Tomorrow, hold on. Move you. See y'all what's going on tomorrow, so y'all not tripping. I'm trying to play with y'all. Now tomorrow, I don't know who did this schedule. Dude, tomorrow I see my name on there again. Hopes and highlights. Man, come on, you don't do no hopes and highlights tomorrow. At 9:15. Okay, anyway, 9:15, we back here. You're gonna meet Joey Shepard. Joey Shepard is the guy that's over tutoring and accommodations. So that's good. So that'll be a good look. And then we'll just so we back here at 9:15 tomorrow, Tuesday. Don't forget we go to TM for pizza tomorrow night as well. Are we good? Everybody, we good?
Yeah.
Or we just have to, they're not allowing dining, so we just have to pick up pizza that we can eat in the common area.
Okay, that's fine.
I call it tomorrow.
We'll just make sure we get what everybody like.
So
Yeah.
do we have to go with you guys, or are we chilling here?
We gonna chill here now.
I'll go pick it up.
Yeah, we'll pick- yeah. Okay, all right. We good? We good? Peace out, man. Oh.
Hey, can I have a picture of?
Holding up the books.
Oh, for sure.
Were you at Milan High School like 2 years ago?
No.
Hey, D, your cameraman, what you want?
This one right
Okay.
here.
Yeah,
Say what?
is our schedule changed at all the next couple of days?
Hey, listen, as long as you're at 9:15 in the morning, you change, you know what change.
Alright.
Because what my name is gonna change.
I gotta still finish yours and Obi, I gotta finish yours too, but before we get into that. Cam, thank you. You're welcome. Yeah,
That's fine. Yeah, I want them to
yeah, Mr. I, right?
I messed up. Do I have one of them?
Yes.
One of them boys? I bought mine. I messed up. That's for real. I bought mine.
Why don't you look like to me? Chris Rock.
Chris, I get that too much.
Yeah, shut my mouth. Hey. Y'all heard him say he's an athlete.
Gabby trying to go at him, for real.
Nah, bro, that's a
Gabby trying to
Wait. How are you talking about like old Chris Rock, right? Like New Jack City Chris Rock?
No, that's disrespectful. I would do that.
Oh, okay. I appreciate
old,
it. There's a lot of people that's willing to be
old
disrespectful.
Yeah.
Y'all come in
Can we
some.
squeeze it in some?
Yeah.
DeAndre that back, DeAndre that,
The what? Oh, yeah, with the screen.
my fault. Oh, that's much better.
Yeah, you gotta eat it out too.
See it, bro. Yeah.
That portrait or regular?
Y'all playing me, man. That's why I don't know. I don't
Good
know.
job.
Say what?
I said, does it look good, Al?
Let me take one with mine too, D, in a minute. No, it's like, it's a little different. Look, I'm gonna take. It's just talking ginger, you know, I got more than we can give right this second. For sure, you see, I put up, you know, up in the ego, you talk about the track, you know. Just sit, whatever. Harvey, let's get in here, Kyle Smith, you get here. No, get in here.
No, you give it.
I'm gonna selfie this, come on, Doc, I don't got time for you.
Selfie is good.
Like a D up in that boy, like, ah, we good. That's what's up.
Somebody said when I mentioned the athlete, I used to run track.
Oh, yeah, you play ball too.
Oh, he gonna bring it up.
No, I ain't say nothing. You play ball too.
I owe Josh a rematch, that's all he's saying.
Okay, I ain't saying nothing about it.
You don't know, I've been working on some moves.
I've been in the gym, been in the
I've been
lab.
working on some moves. Nah, but hey, I appreciate you coming, y'all. Oh, I gotta finish.
Yeah, it's so cold, it's so cold. Hey, don't forget.
Thank you. Yeah, tomorrow. You said take my
No
money.
problem.
I'm in the door for the next 3 days. I ain't got nothing else to do.
3 days.
I'm supposed to be
3 days.
today, Monday.
What was your MVP again? That you,
I said that I got the key to the street.
right.
What you say?
No, he ain't give me one either. Oh, hey, can you sell one for R?
What street?
Yeah.
Up here?
I'm trying to, what's that street?
Like Telegraph. I really like mine.
We got NATO
Yeah,
Road.
put it on the post.
I'm not even gonna lie to you.
That's just
I'm
trying
trying
to
Dude, we texted Allie Brown. He did like put the location. It's 4 hours later.
I'm back in the
You should have, you should call one already.
Yeah, but like she was college record, so she's right there.
What's one you
Yeah.
like?
Oh, yeah.
What? No, that's the game, but what's your favorite character?
What's up, man? You
Goku.
open that gym after I finish
There's
that?
one more.
This is gone. This is gonna open that
What's
gym,
your-
man.
Oh, I got you.
See, that's your problem right there. Know your lane. You're not a basketball player.
I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Thank you.
Show.
DeAndre, by the way.
Nice to meet you, man. I
So-
remember you talked to the group last year on Zoom.
Okay, yeah. Well,
Are you sure? I forgot you sure did.
Yeah.
what was I about to ask you?
That's why I follow
Oh,
on Twitter.
okay.
You help out with.
Yeah, I'm the mentor for her.
Okay, bet. Appreciate you.
That was good, D.
Hey, I appreciate it. Anything pop out at you? I know you came in.
Oh, I just tweeted it.
Oh, what you
I would win, I would learn, but I would never lose.
Oh, okay.
That was dope. I like that.
Yeah,
I just
I'm
tagged-
like
I just
yeah,
hit
I'm
you up
like
on Twitter
I'm
about that.
like that. I'm using that one.
That
I saw you on a couple of them. I was peeping. I was like, Josh must have liked that one.
No, it was the one I liked. Which one I liked? You said last. Was it last year?